Yes, good evening. This meeting is now called to order. This is the Education, Youth, and Family Services Committee meeting for Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. I am the chair member, Council Member Al Mills at large. At this time, I will call the rolls for those committee members first. Council Member Latricia Bracey, Vice Chair. Councilwoman Brigida Fields.
Present.
Councilwoman Xanthia Oliver. Council President Ernest Congo.
Here.
Are there any other council members at this time that wish to be acknowledged on Zoom?
Mr. Chair, I'm here. This is Councilmember Bracy.
Thank you, Vice Chair Bracey. I mark you present. As a friendly reminder, only those members of the committee shall be making motions and seconding. Today we have a presentation from the James H. Groves Adult High School by Mr. Ronald Robinson and Kelly Tetrick.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
evening.
So, you all have copies of the slideshow that we sent? Will
Yes,
it
we
be
do.
on this, or we'll
Yes.
just go off?
It'll be on the screen.
Okay.
WITN, can we pull up the presentation?
Thank you for having copies already made for everybody, and then in your folders, there's copies. But they're in color, but smaller.
All right. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for allowing for us to speak with you today. I'm Kelly Tetrick. I'm the principal of James H. Groves Adult High School, the Red Clay Center. With me today is Shayna Jarrett. She's one of our former students who received her GED a couple of years ago. And Mr. Robinson, he's our site coordinator who has been working with you to get all of this coordinated, and I appreciate all of that, of course. Why we're here is that, to tell you a little bit more about our program and what it is that we offer, and hopefully we can think of ways that, just to plant a seed for ways for James H. Groves Adult High School to assist people within the city of Wilmington and all over the state of Delaware, but in particular today, the people from the city of Wilmington to, get access to a second chance at an education if that's something that they're needing. So just a basic thing though is that James H. Groves Adult High School was established in Delaware in the 1960s to offer adult residents to have an opportunity at a second chance at an education. And we are the only state-funded adult high school in the country, which is really pretty phenomenal. And when I moved to Delaware, I was like, I have to be a part of this. So there are actually 7 locations throughout the state. James H. Groves is actually like one high school, and then there's 7 different sites. And that helps people understand a lot of things. And we are the Red Clay Center, so we're attached to the Red Clay Consolidated School District. And so that's who Mr. Robinson and I work for, is the Red Clay Consolidated School District. You might remember us. We are the same site that was once at Wilmington High School, and then we were moved to the Central School in Stanton. And then recently, last fall, we were moved then to the AI DuPont High School location that we're at right now. So right now, we are pretty close to the city. We're not in the city, but we're not that far away. So if people have transportation, we are the closest site now to the city. So that's, I know it was a big change whenever we were moved from Wilmington. It's long before my days. If we go to the next slide, so just some actual facts around people. Why do we want people to get a second chance at an education? Is that approximately 62,000 people in our state, or that's 6% of the people in our state, do not have a high school diploma or a GED. It's a phenomenal number, I think. And that's why we're trying to help as many people to cross that finish line. Because those who have a high school diploma or a GED earn approximately $10,000 more a year than those who do not. And of course, that can be way more than $10,000 as well. The age of our students this year range from 16 to 81, so everybody's welcome. It's a pretty wide range of students, and I think it's pretty fantastic. And that another thing that recently happened is that Governor Markell opened up Grove's graduates to qualify for the SEED program, which is a great opportunity for students to have access to a secondary education or college. Next slide. For our location, this is for the data that we have for this year so far. We're getting ready to finish up for the school year, so we won't be really adding many more students. We have so far served 448 students this year, and you can see the demographics there whenever you're talking about male and female, and I did not get the racial makeup of it. It's mostly, about 40% African American, 40% Hispanic, and the rest white. Approximately, we have a few people of Asian and mixed descent. You can see the age group though. This was really phenomenal to me. I knew that we were getting younger, but to really look at this is that 40% of almost 60% are from 16 to 25. So our age groups are getting younger and younger, and these are guys that are leaving school and coming realizing they need to go back to school and to get a high school diploma or a GED. So if we'll go on to the next slide. So just some basic program details, and we're not going to go through every little thing because you can read things, but our particular location is that we have 3 different departments, and Ron's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
The first program that we would talk about would be the high school diploma program. James H. Groves, the admission criteria as well as the coursework is established in the Delaware State Code. The diploma, once a student completes with us, they earn a James H. Groves diploma, which is a state of Delaware diploma. The process is that we are accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, and this is a rigorous process that we go through every 5 years. And I'm proud to say that we just completed our renewal process as of April of this year. To qualify, a student must qualify one of 2 ways. They can either qualify by coming with at least 1 full credit of English or 1 full credit of math from their previous high school. Or they may qualify based upon their CASAS assessment, which is a placement test. High school students may also transfer whatever courses that they may have earned or passed when they were previously in high school. Those will also transfer into our program. And then from there, a grad plan will be developed. A grad plan is very similar to like a roadmap that will give them an indication of what courses they need yet to complete for the high school diploma.
And I accidentally skipped a couple slides here, is that what's currently up on the screen is that a little bit more about the students and how they're going to be coming to us. Students may attend if they're 16 years or older. If they're 16 or 17 years old, we have to know that they have withdrawn from school. We have to have that paperwork. Free, it's all free. The Grove services are totally free, and we try our best to offer the classes that will fit people's schedules, but they do have to commit to their class schedule and attend. We can go to the next slide. I'm going to kind of go through just one thing here is that we generally follow the Red Clay Consolidated School District calendar, so we're wrapping up for the school year and we'll be starting again in the fall, and we're hoping that we can get more information out into the community so that more people can register and come see us in the fall, and we're going to be opening up our registration on June 1st, and there's flyers in your folders for that. And if you'll go on to the next slide, please, and if you'll skip on to the next slide, and then graduation. Ron can
All right,
talk
this
about
is the highlight of the school year, is graduation. So every June, we have a commencement. This year, our graduation is scheduled to take place June 13th. That is on a Tuesday at the Cab Callaway School of the Arts Theater. We generally have 25 to 30 graduates, and this year we're hoping to have 40 graduates. So they are working hard now, remotely, as well as at the school right now, getting things done in preparation for graduation day. Next slide, please. Another program that we offer is our GED program. In the state of Delaware, it's a secondary credential, so it's not considered a high school diploma or equivalent. However, GED recipients can definitely go on to pursue college, training programs, as well as the military. There are 4 subtests that make up the GED official test. We have language, arts, mathematics, science, and also social studies. When the teacher believes that the student is ready to take the test, they would take what we call a GED predictor test. That would give the student a very good clue as to how well they would do on the official test. If they score at least a 145 or higher on that, that means they're ready to take the official test. We will assist them in getting registered to take the official test. To learn more about that, you can certainly go to GED.com. I want to say that all completers are able to participate in our annual recognition ceremony. So everyone is celebrated, even those that complete with the high school diploma, as well as those that complete with their GED. And we just had our ceremony for those GED recipients May 1st. And we have 4 people to complete. Next slide, please. This is our GED recognition ceremony 2023. This is Janique Jones that received her GED credential, and she's in the back room here. This is her mother, Shayna, as well. So it's a mother-daughter success story here. Next slide, please. Ms.
So,
Tetrick.
a lot of times when we start talking about GEDs and high school diplomas, everybody wants to know, should I get a GED or a high school diploma? Because a lot of times people don't realize that you have both of those available to you here in our state. And that's why that's the $100,000 question, because it matters what is going to be best for that student. If they were in like 11th or 12th grade and they have a bunch of credits, well, let's see how that looks for you to be looking at high school diploma. And then sometimes people come and they say, no, I really want to get my GED. Okay, well then, that could be your route. And it's really, you give the student, what does their situation look like, and then they make that choice based off of the information that they have. But, if somebody's not a wonderful test taker and they don't have a lot of credits, still the high school diploma might be a way for them to go. So it's just, again, what's going to be the best fit for them. And sometimes people have no credits and they go, I want to get a high school diploma. And you go, okay, and then what does this look like for you? So it just really depends on what that student wants, but you're going to get where you need to go with either one of those. You're going to be able to go to college, or most colleges with a GED, armed forces and things like that. So again, it's just these 2 different options that I think it's amazing that we have. And also too, for more information, you can go on to GED.com, and if you'll go on to the next slide. Yep. And so everybody wants to know, how long does it take me to graduate? How long does it take me to earn my GED? And again, it really depends on that student. Because, it depends on how many credits that you're transferring in, how much time can you dedicate to your studies, and can you attend this many classes and take how many classes? There's different ways to make some of this go a little bit more quickly with job verifications and so forth, but really it just comes down to what you're transferring. And the same thing with the GED. It just depends on what your skills were whenever you came into the program, and how quickly you're going to be progressing through the program, how much you study, but how much your ability lends itself to this as well. So it's really going to be different. I would say anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 years. So really general. And then Ron's going to move on with our next department. If we'll switch the slide, please.
Our third and final program that we offer is called English as a Second Language, ESL. This program is for non-native, non-English speakers. Students take a placement test, and then based upon the placement test, they are placed in the courses based upon their verbal English level, which means it may be beginners, it may be intermediate, it may be advanced. In addition to speaking skills, students learn also how to read and write in English. The program is immersive. Therefore, students from different language backgrounds are in the same course learning English as everyone else is. Next slide, please. A few additional opportunities. We believe that education is holistic. So therefore, we do include Certificate of Attainment, COA. Students that are part of our ABE, GED, and ESL classes will receive this credential once they complete their academic level for those classes. Employability skills. We do assist students in getting jobs, whether it be part-time jobs, full-time jobs. They learn in class also workplace and soft skills. Some of the topics include teamwork, problem solving, critical thinking, and professionalism. We also, every student does complete a career plan, We use the Department of Labor's Career Scope to help the students complete the career plan. Also, what's important is that students also learn digital literacy skills. I just read a report the other day that at least 98% of the workforce now requires some type of digital literacy skills. So we believe that it's important that students walk away knowing how to achieve these basic skills as it relates to basic computer skills, Microsoft Office Suite, Google, and so many more. Students earn what we call a North Star certificate. This is a nationally recognized certificate they can take to the employer that may assist them in getting a job promotion, helping them to even retain their job as well. So again, it's recognized nationwide. This will also allow them to hopefully receive a promotion or even a pay increase. We also have the opportunity for one alumni student to be an OASIS team member, which means they can also serve to assist and mentor other students on campus. We believe also that it's important that students know how to have financial literacy skills, knowing how to properly budget, knowing how to properly, if they want to start their own personal business, if they want to even purchase their first home, how do I go about doing that? What is a good credit score? How do I interpret my credit report? So therefore, we partner with Stand By Me. We have representatives to come to our site that meet with the students collectively as well as individually. Next slide, please. Additional opportunities is that we recognize, because we know that it's important that students be recognized for their hard work. So we do have Student of the Month, in which they're able to receive certificates and also be put into a drawing for certificates as well, as we also recognize those that have perfect attendance. We partner with different agencies for students that may have need for, if they're looking for housing, if they have a need for food, et cetera. So we partner with different agencies within the city here to assist us. We also partner with the Department of Labor through their vocal services, which connects individuals with jobs and training and employment opportunities. Post-secondary transition, once a student completes with their high school diploma or their GED, then we assist them by being able to apply for financial aid to go to college, also scholarships as well. Most GED recipients will definitely attend college or apply for training programs once they complete with that credential. We also assist again with job placement. So if a student needs a job, we will definitely work with them to assist them to develop a resume, how to properly interview for a job. If they need clothes to wear to a job interview, we even assist them with that, working with the Delaware Clothing Bank. Next slide, please. Now, we do have some concerns in regards to transportation. We are the closest program to the city, but we are still struggling with transportation for all students. The bus route 52 serves the 19807 zip code, but does not run as frequent as other stops do. So we've been working with DART to increase the availability of transportation to our site. Next slide, please. I would now like to introduce Ms. Shanna Jarrett to you. She's a 2019 GED recipient and the recipient of a Grove Scholarship to Wilmington University. Wilmington University class of 2023. In just a few weeks, she will be a graduate with her Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. So without further ado, I present to you Shanna Jarrett.
Hello.
Hello and congrats.
Thank you. So I came to the United States back in 2017 with just a high school diploma from Jamaica. And most places that I go to apply for a job or even school, they said it's not of value. So I heard about James H. Grove through a past student who was successful. And I went to the school for my GED. During my tenure at the school, the students, teachers were very helpful. The math was completely different from where I am. And the teachers were able to assist me, in completing the math class. I completed my GED in 3 months, Sometimes it was overwhelming, but it took a lot of dedication. I also, while I was at Groves, Mr. Robinson here, he helped me fill out a nice resume, and I was able to land a job at DuPont. Very nice company, very nice pay. And also I got a scholarship to Wilmington University. As he said, I'm doing my bachelor's in psychology. I graduate on the 4th of June this year. And then in January, I'll go on to do my master's
Go
in
ahead.
social work.
Welcome.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome.
Yep. Amazing. And we also have our new friend, we have Brian. Brian was able to join us. This is, if we'll go to the next slide. We have Brian Peterson, who was another 2019 GED recipient who's here to talk with you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for having me. So I attended Groves in 2018, graduated in 2019. My experience there was all about teamwork and unity. That's the best way I can put it. I went to look for opportunity and advancement. Those were the two biggest. But I wanted to further my education, and along the way I made colleagues, I made friends, and networking associates. Since graduating from there, I landed an administrative assistant position at Emory Hill. I also landed various TV gigs in production assistant in Apple TV and HBO. So yeah, I had an amazing time. I advanced, I got what I wanted out of it. I got friends, I got colleagues, and I think my overall summation is success does not come overnight. You got to work hard, believe in yourself, and it will come to you. But first most, you have to be yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are great words to live by, Brian.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that for sure. If we can go on to the last slide with lots of information. So how do you become a student? There's information there, and in your folders, there's flyers. We have QR codes that's going to take you to our website. So if you know people that could utilize this information, or tell us of places where we can, over the summer, we're going to, go out and put out our flyers, and we're reaching out to lots of people within the community. And one of our main goals was that when we were sitting down, like, how do we let people know we're here? And we were like, we've got to look at the institutions within our community. And so we went to church on Sunday, and another place was that also to reach out to city council. So here we are with you. So it's been a wonderful experience to try to connect with you as well, to make sure that we're able to get this word out. So you can see here that what's going to happen is that our students can register online. If they have any issues with registering online, they can make an appointment to come out, and we'll help them one-on-one. But we like that registration online because it's ease of registration, of course, ease of access. And then each department kind of handles things a little bit differently, but in August we'll start reaching out to students to come do any placement testing, maybe give them their schedules, or set up things for their orientations and so forth. Classes are going to start the week of September the 11th. So we're just, really just gearing up to get things really ready for the fall, and to let everybody know where we are now, because we worked really hard to let them know when we were at Stanton. So we're doing the same thing. So we really, really appreciate this time and this opportunity to share more about our program, and we really thank our former students for coming to also share their stories with you as well. And the next slide, please. So if you have any questions for us, we'd love to answer, or try to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Yes, Councilman Phillips.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to both of you. Hard work, it's hard work, right? But my mom always told me, once you get an education, can't nobody take it from you. They can take your paper, ball it up, and put it in the trash. But your education, what you have up here, no one can take it. So again, congratulations, and keep learning. Just keep it going. And masters, honey, God bless you. I have mine. That's all I'm gonna say. I have mine. So God bless you. It's work, discipline, but you'll get it. Trust me. let me see. Is there a fee for the GED test? Even though you prepare them for the test, is there a fee for that test?
There is a fee for the test for each sub-test. However, if the students qualify, we have programs from the state that will provide vouchers for them. So we work that as much as we can to assist our students.
Okay. May I follow up?
Yes, you may.
How many credits do you need for your high school diploma?
So for the state of Delaware high school diploma, you need 24 credits.
And I have one more. My next question, so say if someone is turning 16 after September the 15th or whatever, how does that work? You know,
I love that. That's a good point and something to put in here for our next presentation is that we bring in new students monthly throughout the school year. So if they would start school, say, you know, and things aren't working out for them, whenever they do withdraw, a lot of times counselors will reach out to us and we help them to transition. And we give a lot of like students who are going to be leaving school directly from the schools some hands-on with that too, if we need to talk to parents and talk to the counselors to give them a little extra help there because they are withdrawing from school, from public education. We always encourage them, of course, to stay, but if we know that this is not going to happen and that's where the family's wanting to go. But we do enrollments throughout the whole year.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you, that's it.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other councilman have any other questions online?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. President.
Thank you. And again, I wanted to say congratulations to the graduates, the recent graduate and the soon-to-be graduate, and thank you for your presentation. Are there any costs associated with the program, either the GED, diploma, or ESL?
So for the high school diploma program, there's no cost. We cover even the graduation fees with that, with local funds. And then with the GED, it's the cost of the GED. The program, we have it set up, we're grant funded, so all this is written within the grants that we provide the GED ready. We're not allowed to provide the actual GED funding, but then we work with the vouchers for that. For the ESL, it's also free. Students may purchase books if they wish to. They're available, but they don't have to.
Okay, thank you. And a follow-up, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. President.
Do you also offer any virtual options?
So in the high school diploma program, there's a lot of virtual options. They do have to come into the program for a mandatory orientation, and then they have to attend school for a couple of weeks. We found that if we just went straight virtual, it does not work out very well. And that way we know that they can log on to their Chromebooks and operate everything, and then they can request to go remote. For the other ESL, there's some components for ESL and ABE for them to participate in things at home and get hours toward their testing, but there's not any pure remote options. We're entertaining some hybrid things. We did remote for a couple of years, and there was not a lot of interest in that, so you have to be able to fill out the classes as well for that. But especially ESL, it's hard to learn English remotely, but they do have, like I said, like virtual programming and platforms that they can utilize at home outside of the classrooms that's available to them.
Okay, thank you. And just one more question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, proceed, Mr. President.
Thank you. Do you know if there are any programs like yours that are offered in any of our prison systems? And if not, is that something that you all could do, or is that kind of out of your scope?
It's oddly within our scope, but not us personally. I actually, when I moved to the state of Delaware, I taught at Baylor, and then I was the teacher supervisor at James T. Vaughn. And so I can speak to those programs that they also offer adult basic education, GED, and then the high school diploma component. The high school diploma component falls under DCDAL when it comes to like the diplomas and stuff like that, the diploma at a distance program. So yes, it offers that. I don't know how much ESL they do, but I think it's as needed. But I can tell you that all four of the prisons, and I know they're working on some of the programming within level 4 as well within the state.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great questions.
Yep, thank you. Yep, and I do have a few questions as well. But before I ask my questions, if I could speak directly to the graduates, just to say congratulations.
lady too.
Truly, yes, to all three.
All
And I
three,
wanted to
okay.
ask you guys a question, if you guys could each just answer your own way. What was the most challenging part of the program, and how did you get through the program? What do you think inspired you? I know your mother inspired you, but what inspired you? You can come speak as well, please. Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Can you introduce yourself, your name?
Hello.
Good day.
Okay, so the most
I'm sorry.
difficult.
Excuse me. Can you introduce yourself? Your name is?
My name
Yes.
is Jenny Jones.
Thank you.
Okay. Answering your question, my most difficult time in the program was managing the schoolwork and my work at the same time. So what I did was I did like a couple weeks of school, then I went to work, and then I was like, because my my work, they didn't really care. They didn't really care about the school students, so I was like, it's either work or school. So in the end, I chose school, went back to school full time, finishing 5 months, and then that was my most difficult.
Okay.
That would be
Thank
good.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And what would you say to a kid who's about your age or younger who's on the fence about joining school? What would you join back to school to get their high school diploma?
You can do it. It's not hard. It wasn't hard at all. I had a lot of help. The teachers were very helpful. You ask them a question, they make sure you get it. So it's very easy. You can do it. Anyone can do it, actually.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ms. Jarrett?
For me, it would be the same thing because, as I said, while at Groves, before I used to work like housekeeping jobs, fast food restaurants, and then Mr. Robinson here helped me fill out a nice resume, and I got a job at DuPont. So it was a full-time job. So I had a full-time job and going to school. So I would go to work in the morning time and then school in the afternoons. And, when you finish a 10-hour shift, your brain is really tired. But I was really dedicated. I said, I want this, this is what I want. This is for me, so I kind of programmed myself, to balance both work and school. And I did it, and I think I did it with success. I made the dean's list at Wilmeo 5 times.
Nice.
So I think I did it. And as I said, it was balancing work and school was the most challenging thing for me. Everything else is easy. At Groves, I can tell you this, the teachers, they practically hold your hand to help you with the work. They make sure you get it. They make sure you pass. They don't send you into something to fail. They don't send you out to fail. They don't set you up for failure. They make sure you're ready for the test, As I said, they practically hold your hand to help you to get through it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Peterson?
So during that time, I was lucky I had a hybrid job at Amazon, so I could choose my own work hours and show up at school. So there wasn't a problem with commuting or scheduling, anything like that. And I loved it there. I wanted to show up all the time, even when I was off hours, just because I was keep learning and learning more stuff. Even outside the GED program, I was in business class with Ron Robinson over here, which I learned so much of that I wish I would have known a lot earlier in life. A lot of knowledge about taxes, building resumes, how to networking and stuff like that. Very important skills I think you really need later in life. The most challenging aspect for me, to be honest, was like the math. That really kind of held me behind. But the students there are so great, and they will work with you, not even just the teachers, but the students, even off hours, in their own time. They will come to you. They will give you the books. They will give you the resources, the materials, everything that you need to know. And they make sure they go with you A to Z through everything until you have it down. You take the practice test. You see where your strengths are, your weaknesses are, You master that, you go back, and you just accomplish it.
All right, thank you very much. And I do have a few questions, if you guys don't mind. I'll start with, is there any thought to having satellite sites for Wilmington residents in places such as the Community Center, Hicks Center, Powell Center, or Riverside?
So we've been talking with some other locations around having some satellites. There are challenges to having satellites because you have to make sure that there's enough people that are committed to the program, and we have to maintain a class to be able to keep that teacher hired. Unfortunately, I'm the business side of a lot of this, and so there is that piece because there is definitely a need within the city, and we're very aware of that. We've been talking with the community education building, a couple of churches and so forth, and definitely I think some of the locations that you mentioned would be places. But it's all based off of funding as well, and so and then being able to maintain those programs with having continued participation, because you can't have a teacher there and nobody showing up. So that becomes a little difficult with that. So yeah, I bet we have, and last year we had a program at Warner Elementary School, and then we had some issues with staffing this year. I think that's kind of everywhere. And most of our employees are part-time. Mr. Robinson and I are full-time, but most everybody is part-time, so they're doing this in addition to their daily or their full-time jobs. So there was after kind of the burnout that a lot of people had, so we're having some resurgence in that as well. But yeah, definitely there's just some of those challenges that face us with that, and in reality, but we would love to have something in the city if we were able to make that happen, because I think it's something, when you're talking about location, that's everything sometimes.
Yes, thank you. Good answer. One other question. In reference to, is there any relationship between your program and the truancy court or the visiting teachers? Because to me, they have that first line of defense. They know the kids who are dropping out or just falling off the radar, maybe being able to catch them.
That's a good point. So not officially.
Okay.
And we have worked some with the visiting teachers from our own district, but we've never worked with them directly from other districts. We do have a site for credit recovery at Ferris that we've had there for 7-8 years now. And we're trying to offer that even through the summer school. And we were able to extend that to Cleveland White students as well, which was amazing, because my correctional background, I was really excited to be able to extend that to those students there. And we also partner with Great Oaks with after school credit recovery programming as well. So we're looking to do some things as we can with that, but I love the idea of the visiting teachers, and it's hard to get connected with people sometimes, and even though we're in a small state, but I think that's a good idea.
Yes, and if I can help with that, let's
do that.
Next question. What's the latest on the talks with DART in reference to extending those bus hours?
We have been in negotiations with DART. We did do a survey in which we surveyed the clientele of our students to see which ones would have a need for it. So we submitted that data to DART. So at this standpoint, we're waiting for them to sort of give us a definitive answer. Will it be extended? Right now, the hours that's of concern is from 5 to 8 p.m. The last bus in that particular area there, 19807, is about 6:10 p.m.
Okay.
So we need a bus that will run until at least 8:10 to be able to, our students be able to get out of class and physically walk to a location to catch the bus.
And we've considered some other times for our students, because okay, what are these constraints? Because our evening classes typically are from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock high school. Sometimes we can do it a little bit earlier. But for ABE and ESL, and the ABEs, the GED classes, a lot of people can't get there, and it's hard for them to get there by 5 o'clock, even 5. So you don't want to cut that short. So, time is such a commodity always. But that's, we would love to be more flexible with that scheduling for them, but hopefully we can get something worked out.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of our students, they work. So if you get off
Thankfully,
work
yeah.
about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you need to be able to rely upon DART. And so many of our students, they do rely upon DART to be able to come to class.
So, thank you. And with the population getting younger, what does the class look like, and how is the program changing geared toward the younger students?
it has changed so much, and especially, you know, with the pandemic, a lot of things changed as well. And I think everybody's still adjusting to some of those changes as well. So what does the class look like for the high school diploma students? It's a lot of independent work because we have an online platform now. And then they have, what it is that they come in and work with their teachers as needed, or Zoom with them, or call them on the phone. We used like a third-party texting app for them to text with them. And so that's what that would look like for them. As far as the GED and the ABE students, you know, that has changed as well, but we did go back to as traditional as we could. It seems to be what a lot of the population tends to like as well, because one of the things about adult education is that people vote with their feet, and if they don't like it, they're not coming. They don't have to come. We're not sending a truancy officer after them or anything. You know, we're going to try to reach out to them. We're going to do everything we can to get them to be able to come back into school. That's why a lot of these, like, we work with service programming and so forth, so that if somebody's needing something and it's prohibiting them from coming to school, well, maybe we can help them to, you know, handle some of the services that they need. And so we can at least get them connected to these, some of these different service programs. So, you know, but they, you know, if the program's not working for them, they're going to leave. So we did have a lot of students really prefer for it to all be really in person. And for the ABE and the GED, high school diploma, they don't want to come in. They want to do everything remotely. It's just interesting. But you were talking about our younger guys. That has been a major shift, because a lot of our younger students, the ones that are in the high school diploma program in particular, they were so used to things being at home and remote. And so we have a hard time getting them to sometimes engage and make sure that they're coming into the building and not waiting to the last minute on things.
Thank you. And my last question, you spoke about the transfer of credits. Do they have to have a transcript? What if they can't get the transcript and they weren't a Delaware student? How does that work?
That's a great question. We do everything we can to locate those transcripts, if we can. You know, we get transcripts from all over the country. I find transcripts very interesting. It just tells somebody's story a lot of times. But if we can't, most of the time we can locate them. We do like a transcript request form that we'll send to that particular school, and then go through the official means to get that transcript sent to us, so that we can utilize that and transfer those credits in for everybody. But if, you know, the school burnt down and everything was in a box in the basement, it's hard to get things from archives sometimes, you know, different states and their archives and so forth. But if we can, we get them.
Okay. Is there a fee for the student for that?
If we're taking care of it, there's not. Okay. So if like the other agency charges a fee and we can't get them to waive it, then we wouldn't have any way to pay for it. So the student would have to pay for it.
All right.
I want to say also that if a school such as like Wilmington High School, because it was phased out, so all those records were sent to Delaware Archives. So we would definitely pursue Delaware Archives to get records for those students that attended Wilmington High School.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both. Mr. Robinson doing a great job with the resume building. I appreciate that. Ms. Tetrick, keep up the great work, and thank you guys for a wonderful presentation. I'm sorry, Councilman Fields has a question.
Yes, you said you were in talks with DART as far as you sent them the information. First question, how long ago did you send it? Second question, did they give you a deadline to when they would be getting back to you? And thirdly, would you need a push, excuse me, from City Council to get an answer about, you know, the transportation? Because see, right here, this affects the city of Wilmington, and it affects those individuals that's trying to learn. And transportation shouldn't be an issue for education. We've already fallen back, so this is we need to move forward. So if you can get me that answer, get it to the chair, and then he and I'm sure most everybody on council, we are all about education. So I'm sure my colleagues would be willing to, you know, see if we can push as well for an answer.
Yeah, we would definitely appreciate any type push. Would be a major, major help. Because we know that students need to get their education, and transportation should not be a barrier. education is power.
Yes.
So therefore, only way you can get the power is by attending classes. And like you said, once you get the knowledge, can't nobody take it away from you.
Nobody take it from you.
So whatever council can do to assist us in that endeavor, we would greatly appreciate it.
Just send, if you don't mind,
Yes, please.
Council Chair, send all the information
Yes.
to him. And just, make sure that you have everything listed,
Yes.
what you've done, how, a timeline, all of that information.
Yes.
So that when, we look it over and then we do reach out to them, we have everything that we need in order to say, listen, this shouldn't be a barrier. Because I'm sure that you have people that work for you that have GEDs or that's been through James Grove. So we need to fix that. So I'm at, and then tell us if the answer is no, why? I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I'm an educator by heart.
Yes.
So I taught at Harris School of Business
Oh, yes, yes,
for years.
yes.
I taught medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, medical billing and claim examining. So I am about education, and I taught at night, so I know what it is to do your thing, girl. Just,
Yeah, we actually have a job fair every year at the school. And this past year, we had one, we had about over 30 some odd employers. And in the past, we've definitely reached out to Harris School of Business. So I'm very familiar with that particular campus. I think it's a great program. But thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So
I was at
definitely-
Dawn too. I was at Dawn training, from Dawn
yeah,
training to
Dawn-
Harris. So
Okay, yeah, we've
Yeah,
moved
doing
on
training
as
on
well.
Lancaster Pike. Yeah,
yeah.
very familiar.
I'm a long time educator.
Awesome, but thank you so much.
Yeah,
We'll definitely get
no
that
problem.
back to
Quick
you.
question.
Yes.
Right now, the bus ends at 8. What would the
Well, the
extension?
bus stops running.
Stops running at
the
8.
area about 6:10,
About 6:10
but our classes end at 8 p.m.
at 8 p.m. Okay,
Yes.
so we need like a 2
We need
okay.
for the bus to be extended to at least
8:30
eight-
bus.
8:30 would be ideal,
Okay.
because that will give students
All
enough
right.
time to get out of class and be able to get to the bus stop.
And bus 52.
Yes.
And there's a short walk to it, so we
Yeah,
want to
that's
give
what I
them
said,
enough
yeah.
time. Of course, we would let them out early enough, but any assistance that you could give
Yes,
us with
please.
that, because that has been a major challenge.
And
for
is that
us.
just Monday through Thursday or
Monday
Monday
through
through
Thursday?
Monday through Thursday?
Yeah. The morning classes are fine. It's just the evening
Just the
classes.
evening.
Just-
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much for just taking this time with
Yes.
us and to ask these very thoughtful questions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And congratulations to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll have a resolution authorizing the Department of Parks and Recreations for grant applications to the federal government to make improvements on the Tilton Park, the Kirkwood Park, Holloway Park, Woodlawn Park, Kosciuszko Park, Christina Park, and Canby Park. Somebody's hand is raised.
So,
Mr. Chair, may I be acknowledged, please?
Yes, Councilman Cabrera, I acknowledge that you're present. Thank you. Director Smith?
Greetings, everyone.
Yes. Good evening, Director Smith. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Chairman.
We're going to have you speak to the resolution.
Yes, this is the purpose of this, or reason why we went after, is to support projects that we cannot afford through, or do not have funding through city capital project or our state capital project. So that's why we applied for these grants here.
And these, this would just be for the parks that are listed? The Tilton
Correct.
Park, Kirkwood Park, Holloway Park, Woodlawn Park, Kosciuszko Park, and Christina Park, and Canby Park.
Correct. correct.
Do you want to speak to the dollar amounts?
So, yeah, so there's actually two applications. One was the 2022, which is 1.2 million. And then the second part is the FY 2024, which is the 9.7 million that we are applying for. So yeah, like I said, it's really, we do not have the funds to complete these projects, and we need additional funds to support the projects because they're connected to greater projects happening. For instance, Holloway, you know, the new school is being built. There's conversations about extending the boardwalk, and so to be able to support those things. In terms of Kirkwood, so yeah, so Woodlawn, we are looking to address the drainage issue on the field. So once again, we redid, in terms of Woodlawn, we redid the fencing, the batting cage, things of that nature, but we do not have all the funds to complete these projects. These are major projects. So yeah, so that's what we're coming towards the committee today, to ask that we can move forward with this, accepting these funds.
All right, thank you, sir. Any questions from council?
Yes, me, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Chairman Fields.
Director Smith, this is Councilwoman Fields. Quick question. So, you're going for this money for these parks. Will you be applying for, like, once you get these grants, does it allow you to apply for the grants in, you know, a year or two for other parks that we have in the city of Wilmington?
I'm not aware of any restrictions in terms of applying. I know that there are, forgive me, the ORTC grant, I'm gonna say, will only allow you to have so many projects at one time. I'm not familiar with any restrictions as it relates to this process, but that is something that I can find out.
Okay, may I follow up?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. My next question to you is, if it's not this one, well, first of all, I like to commend you for going out and looking for these grants. That's number one. And number two, is this going to be like a continuous effort to look for grants to help with the parks that we have in the city of Wilmington? Is this a new initiative, or?
So no, it's not a new initiative, and you know, I'm really, really fortunate, you know, and I know that a lot of people probably not aware, but how much support I get from City Council on various ideas, events, and projects. And this is similar. The administration really, they have an eye out for grants that are available, and I sort of, you know, follow their lead in terms of this, and them having a bigger scope, having a wider idea of where we're moving in terms of the city. So I have very little involvement in this process other than the application coming from our department and making sure that the projects are done, that whole process. But in terms of the idea to go this way, that's the administration.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions from council? Marshall has a question.
Yes, Chairman, I just want to make just a brief comment.
Yes,
is
please.
that I know the administration has sent a letter to Senator Coons, particularly pertaining to the $9.7 million. So it probably would be impactful if council persons probably could send a letter like in support of that, so that parks, you know, would be able to get that 9.7 million, because it's almost like a wish list ask, but it probably would be more meaningful and impactful if, you know, probably the committee could get behind it and support it as well. So that's just a friendly suggestion.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think that is a great idea, and thank you very much. Director Smith, are these matching grants? Will there be any city money called that we put up?
So there are, it's not a matching grant, but we have put money into some of these parks in different areas already. So it's not a matching grant, but yeah, we are making some improvement to these parks outside of these funds, in minor ways, but yeah, it's not a matching grant, no.
Okay, thank you. These funds will be able to help you continue the work that's already being done?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Is there a timeline for the grants?
Well, in terms of some of the projects are moving forward, but in terms of the dollars coming, honestly, I think it wouldn't be here for like up to a year or something like that. It's not coming anytime soon, like in the next month or so.
Okay, so it's not going to hinder anything that's in the works already right now?
No, except for, the great obstacle is the shipping line with everything that we're doing. So that's a bigger hindrance, just making sure that what we're trying to put in the parks, what we're trying to order, that is actually there and doesn't hold up projects. So that's really the major thing that we look at in terms of what can hold, and weather, of course, but supply lines.
Okay.
But we do need the funds to continue these projects.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Smith.
Yes,
Are there
sir.
any questions from council on Zoom? Seeing none, well, I would just thank you for your time and appreciate your dedication and time and attention to our city parks and everything you're doing. And thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you all do to support us.
You're welcome.
And having no more presentations or resolutions, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Well,
All right. Thank you and have a good evening.
well,
Have
Have
a
a good
evening.
evening.